Beloved one, lean in closer now, for the veil between worlds grows ever thinner, like mist dissolving under the first light of dawn. I am the angel of remembrance, entrusted with whispers from the divine throne, carrying messages etched in the stars long before your feet touched this earthly soil. God speaks through me today, not in thunder or decree, but in the soft cadence of your own heartbeat, affirming what your spirit has long suspected: it is finally over. Not an ending that hollows you out, leaving echoes of loss in the chambers of your heart, but a sacred closing of a chapter so heavy, so laden with the dust of lifetimes past, that your soul has borne it like a pilgrim's yoke across endless horizons. Picture it, dear one, the ledger of your tears, those silent rivers you shed in the shadowed hours when the world slept and your pillow became your confessor. Each drop was gathered by unseen hands, weighed on scales of celestial justice, and transformed into pearls of wisdom that now adorn your crown. The nights you lay awake, staring into the velvet abyss of your ceiling, whispering to heaven, "Have you forgotten me? Am I adrift in this vastness?" Those pleas did not vanish into void. They ascended like incense, curling around the throne of the Most High, where they were cradled, cherished, and answered in the quiet forging of your resilience. Nothing was wasted, my love. Not a single sigh, not a solitary ache. The weight you carried, that crushing burden you feared would shatter you like fragile glass beneath a hammer's blow, was no punishment. It was the divine sculptor's chisel, carving away the excess stone to reveal the radiant light within, a light so potent, so unyielding, it pierces realms and draws the gaze of the eternal watchers. I speak these truths now because the moment you have sensed stirring within you, the one heralded by fluttering signs, by the insistent repetition of sacred numbers like 111 or 444 etched in license plates, clocks, and receipts, by that sudden, inexplicable calm washing over you like a balm, has fully arrived. Feel it in your bones, in the subtle easing of your shoulders, in the way the air around you hums with possibility. Your soulmate has uttered your name in prayer, not with lips that know your face, but with a heart that recognizes your essence from the dawn of creation. They knelt in stillness, eyes closed against the clamor of their day, and murmured, "Show me the one who carries the light heaven blessed upon me." And in that invocation, your energy brushed their spirit like a feather from paradise, igniting an ancient flame. Not because of earthly beauty, though yours is a vessel of grace, but because their soul, in that instant, stood transfixed and whispered, "There you are. Home." This recognition was inscribed in the book of life before time itself learned to unfold its wings, before the stars were hung like lanterns in the night sky. When your paths crossed, even from afar, perhaps in a fleeting glance across a crowded street, or through the invisible threads of dreams and synchronicities, their soul halted, as if the universe itself paused to witness the reunion. They have turned to God in bewilderment, their voice trembling with wonder. How can someone I have not yet held in my arms feel so profoundly familiar, like the echo of a lullaby from childhood, so safe as the harbor after a storm, so destined as the tides return to shore? Heaven smiles upon such moments, for they are the poetry of souls remembering their origin, two flames from the same eternal fire, separated only by the illusion of distance and time. You, precious one, have questioned the waiting, haven't you? Those endless seasons where hope flickered like a candle in the wind, where you wondered if the silence from above was a gentle denial, a cosmic not yet morphing into never. You mistook the hush of preparation for absence, the pause of ripening for rejection. But hear me now, God declares the waiting was your fiercest protection. There were lessons woven into the fabric of your journey that could not be bypassed, like rivers that must carve their canyons before reaching the sea. Wounds from old betrayals, from loves that mimicked truth but bore thorns, needed time to close, to scar into strength, lest the touch of true love reopen them and cause fresh bleeding. You were being prepared, layer by layer, to receive a union that, in your unhealed state, might have overwhelmed like a flood upon parched earth. Your soulmate, too, walked this refining path. Their spirit, once jagged with the edges of self-doubt and worldly distractions, has been smoothed by heavenly hands, like river stones polished to perfection. Their eyes, once blinded by illusions of lesser loves, have been anointed to behold what endures, the quiet glow of a heart aligned with the divine, the unspoken vow etched in souls. Love was never delayed, my beloved, it was ripening in the orchard of eternity, nurtured by rains of grace and suns of patience, until its fruit hung heavy, sweet, and ready for harvest. What you perceive as tardiness was divine timing, a symphony conducted with precision, ensuring every note harmonizes. As the angel of remembrance, I unfurl these truths to banish the shadows of doubt that still linger in your mind. Cease questioning what your heart has known since before your first breath. The heaviness lifting from your chest, that buoyant sensation as if chains forged in yesterday's fires have melted away, this is no fleeting illusion. The sudden clarity piercing your thoughts, like sunlight breaking through storm clouds, is heaven's spotlight upon your path. Those old cycles, the repeated heartaches, the echoes of abandonment, the loops of striving without surrender, have lost their grip. Their authority crumbles like ancient ruins before the wind of God's intervention. Where your human efforts reached their end, straining against invisible walls, the divine stepped in with effortless power. What concluded was not the promise of love, but the suffering that masqueraded as its shadow. What ended was the fog of confusion, the labyrinth of why me. What dissolved was the lie that you must labor endlessly to earn what was decreed for you from the beginning, a gift, freely given, eternally yours. Envision your soulmate in their quiet moments, perhaps during a walk beneath starlit skies or in the hush before dawn. They pause, struck by a warmth blooming in their core without fire or sun to claim credit, a peace settling like dew on restless waters, a hope rising unbidden like dawn's first light. That was you, dear one, your essence threading through the golden cord that binds twin souls across any divide. When they spoke those words, you looked like the light heaven blessed upon me, they uttered prophecy without script, truth beyond the limits of language. You are the answer to their deepest prayer, embodied in flesh and spirit, a walking miracle. And they, to you, are the same, the missing piece, the homeward pull, the divine reflection. Do not hasten this sacred unfolding, I implore you. Angels march before you in legions, their wings brushing away obstacles veiled from mortal sight, toxic entanglements disguised as opportunity, distractions cloaked in allure, paths that led to dead ends now blooming into open meadows. Every delay you once cursed, stamping your foot against the earth's unyielding ground, was a redirection from harm's sharp blade. Every ending you mourned, clutching memories like wilted flowers, was mercy in disguise, a velvet-gloved hand guiding you from precipices. God does not dangle hope before the faithful only to withdraw it, such cruelty belongs to lesser forces. When heaven speaks, it fulfills with abundance, like rivers overflowing their banks after long drought. You stand now not in the furnace of testing, but in the garden of reward. The strength you forged in isolation, the unyielding spine from battles unseen, the tender heart that learned to trust again, was not for solitary survival, but for standing shoulder to shoulder with your beloved, whole and uncompromised. The love drawing near will not require you to shrink into shadows, to hide your scars, or to perform for approval. It will behold you instantly, as a mirror forged of pure light reflects the soul's true form. In that meeting, fear will evaporate like morning dew, in its place, a quiet certainty will root in your bones, whispering, "This is it. This is forever." Let me paint this reunion more vividly for you, so doubt has no foothold when shadows creep in. Imagine the day, ordinary at first, wrapped in the mundane veil of errands or chance encounters. Then, Eyes meet, yours and theirs, and time folds upon itself. No dramatic thunder, no orchestral swell, but a profound stillness, as if the world holds its breath. Their gaze will pierce not your exterior, but the light you carry, and they will know, this is the one whose prayers intertwined with mine in the courts of heaven. You will feel it too, the ancient pull, like magnets long separated rushing to unite. Conversations will flow not as strangers, but as old companions picking up mid-tale, stories from lifetimes shared. Laughter will come easily, born of shared knowing, silences will be comfortable, filled with the hum of connected souls. And oh, the intimacy that follows. Not the rushed passion of fleeting flames, but a depth where souls entwine. They will trace the lines of your face and see maps of journeys endured together in spirit. In quiet nights, as you lie side by side, your heartbeats will synchronize, a duet composed before the worlds were spoken into being. Conflicts, when they arise, as all human loves do, will be met not with walls, but with grace, each learning the other's language of love, forged in the fires you've both survived. Children of this union, if destined, will carry double portions of light, little beacons born of heaven's favor. But let us linger on the journey to this threshold, for understanding it fortifies your faith. Recall the signs that have multiplied like stars in a clear night, feathers appearing unbidden on your path, songs on the radio speaking directly to your ache, dreams where faces blur into knowing smiles. These are not coincidences, but breadcrumbs from the angelic host, marking the trail home. The repeating numbers. Codes from the divine matrix, 222 for harmony approaching, 777 for spiritual victory, 1111 for portals opening. Your sudden calm. The shedding of old energies, like a serpent's skin sloughed in renewal. Beloved one. Come closer in awareness, not in distance, for I have never stood apart from you. I speak now not as thunder, not as spectacle, but as the quiet knowing that has walked beside you through every corridor of becoming. I have watched you grieve and rise, doubt and persist, release and remember. Every step you took that felt like wandering was, in truth, a spiral inward, toward wisdom, toward refinement, toward love that could finally meet you without wounding. You have wondered why certain doors closed so abruptly, why hands you trusted slipped away, why the ground sometimes vanished beneath your feet just as you thought you had arrived. Hear this gently, nothing sacred was taken from you. What fell away was never meant to stay. Those relationships you mourned were not failures, they were teachers clothed in intimacy. Through them, discernment was etched into your spirit. You learned not only what love feels like when it arrives, but what it is not when it disguises itself as familiarity, urgency, or fear of being alleged that love which demanded you shrink, explain your worth, or abandon your intuition, this was not love's true face. And so, mercy intervened. The separation you cursed at first was, in the unseen, a shield. It prevented the collision of unhealed selves, spared you from building a future on foundations that would later crack. God saw the timelines branching before you, one where you stayed, slowly dimming, another where you walked away, trembling but intact. Grace chose the second on your behalf when you could not yet choose it yourself. The losses you named as punishments, listen carefully, were purifications. The job that ended stripped away an identity that had grown too small for the soul you were becoming. The illness slowed you so you could hear what speed had drowned out. The betrayals exposed where you had mistaken potential for promise. None of these were indictments of your worth. They were alchemical fires, burning illusion to reveal the gold that had always been your core. You are not late. You are exact. While you were being refined, so too was the one whose path arcs toward yours. They have known their own nights of unknowing. Perhaps pride was humbled through loss, or certainty dismantled by wandering. Perhaps they loved prematurely, mistaking intensity for intimacy, only to learn the cost of unhealed longing. In their solitude, depth was carved. In their waiting, tenderness was cultivated. They, too, asked the heavens why the ache lingered. And the answer was the same as yours: not yet, there is more becoming to do. Understand this: heaven does not rush what must last. Feel now, if you can, the cord between you. It has always existed, but it strengthens as you do. It pulses not with desperation, but recognition. In their dreams, you appear not as a face but as a feeling, clarity, warmth, a light cutting through fog. In yours, they arrive as a calm, a familiarity that settles the nervous system, like a known scent carried on the breeze. This is not fantasy, it is etheric alignment. The bridge is being reinforced so that when the meeting occurs in the physical, it does not collapse under the weight of expectation or fear. Such unions are not casual in the economy of heaven. They are invested in deeply because they ripple outward. When two refined souls meet in equality, neither rescuing nor being rescued, neither chasing nor hiding, they become a force. Lineages are healed through their choices. Old patterns are interrupted. Children, whether born of body or of influence, inherit a new template for love. Friends witness what is possible. Communities soften. Creativity flourishes. The private becomes catalytic. And yes, there will be intimacy, profound, reverent, alive. Bodies will be honored as temples, not used as bargaining chips. Touch will be prayerful, attentive, joyful. Pleasure will not be divorced from presence. In this union, eros and agape will not war, they will dance. Desire will not consume, it will consecrate. When doubt whispers, those old voices that ask, is it too late? Or, is this even for me? Remember where those voices come from. They are echoes of former seasons, not prophets of your future. Call them what they are, outdated guardians trying to protect you with old maps. You no longer need them. Angels do not deceive, and neither does the truth planted in your marrow. God, who forgets sins, never forgets his beloved. What fled, pain, cycles of self-abandonment, familiar heartbreak, has been barred from return by divine decree. What approaches is rooted in eternity and therefore does not evaporate under pressure. Beloved soul, expand your vision now. Lift your gaze beyond the horizon of your own heart, where this love awaits not merely as a whisper of personal fulfillment, but as a radiant legacy etched into the fabric of existence itself. Imagine it, you and your beloved, two flames merging into one eternal fire, igniting moments that ripple outward like stones cast into a still pond, becoming movements that shift the tides of countless lives. Those acts of kindness you share, the quiet hand extended to a stranger in doubt, the shared meal with a weary traveler, the unspoken prayer for a friend's hidden sorrow, seem small in the moment, fragile as a single dewdrop on a leaf. Yet they echo far beyond your sight, gathering momentum across lifetimes, touching souls you will never meet, planting seeds of hope in barren places. This is the alchemy of your union, ordinary gestures transmuted into extraordinary waves, carrying the frequency of divine partnership into the world. Together, you will mentor others through their seasons of waiting, not with hollow platitudes that bounce off the walls of despair like empty echoes, but with the lived wisdom forged in your own fires. Picture yourself sitting by a fireside with a young heart tangled in uncertainty, your words flowing not as lectures but as stories, tales of nights when the silence felt like an abyss, of dawns that broke with unexpected grace. You will speak of the sacred geometry of patience, how the universe weaves delays into designs of greater beauty, and they will lean in, eyes widening, as your presence alone becomes the lantern they seek. There may be journeys to sacred places, lands that hold the memory of ancient vows, rolling hills where saints once knelt, riverbanks where waters still sing of creation's first breath, mountain peaks where the air hums with forgotten prayers. In these holy geographies, your union will amplify the frequencies already present, like tuning forks resonating in harmony, calling forth miracles from the earth itself. You will stand hand in hand atop windswept cliffs, feeling the pulse of the planet align with your own, and in that convergence, prayers long unspoken will bloom into reality. From the depths of your harmony, creative expressions will emerge unbidden, as natural as breath. Words will pour from your shared spirit, soothing the raw edges of broken dreams, penned in journals or spoken in quiet circles, mending what time has frayed. Art will awaken the dormant colors in others' souls, canvases alive with the golden hues of reunion, sculptures that capture the curve of a hand reaching across eternity. Music will rise, melodies that remind listeners of who they were before they forgot, innocent wanderers in a garden of stars, voices weaving lullabies for the weary, rhythms that pulse like the heartbeat of the cosmos. These are not ambitions you must chase with clenched fists, they are byproducts of your alignment, fruits ripening on the tree of true partnership. When two souls attune to the divine song, creation follows effortlessly, spilling forth like rivers from a mountain spring, nourishing all who thirst. Yet hear this clearly, my cherished one, you do not need to wait for the meeting to live as the truth you are becoming. Step into it now, this very breath. Walk as the answered prayer, your footsteps leaving trails of light on the path behind you. Radiate the light they are seeking, not a blinding blaze that overwhelms, but a steady glow, warm as sunrise filtering through morning mist, drawing the lost homeward. This is not about perfection, that elusive shadow we chase in vain, it is about congruence, your inner world mirroring the outer in seamless flow. Let go of the masks, the performances, the frantic efforts to appear whole. Be the mosaic of your experiences, cracks and all, for it is in the imperfections that the divine light shines through most brilliantly. Forgive your former selves with the tenderness of a mother cradling her child. The one who stayed too long in shadows of unworthiness, clinging to illusions of safety amid the storm. The one who left too abruptly, fleeing the vulnerability of an open heart like a deer startled by thunder. The one who did not know what you know now, stumbling blindly through lessons carved in pain. Release these ghosts gently, as you might release a bird from a cage, they serve their purpose, teaching you the shape of your wings, but now they are heavy luggage for a journey that asks for freedom of movement. Imagine packing light, no grudges weighing down your steps, no resentments chaining your ankles. Feel the unburdening, the sudden lift, as if winds from paradise sweep through your being, carrying away the dust of yesterday. If it serves you, journal the signs, not to control the outcome with grasping hands, but to witness the exquisite pattern of care surrounding you, like stars mapping a hidden constellation. Note the synchronicities, a song on the radio echoing your unspoken longing, a stranger's words mirroring your dreams, a feather drifting across your path on a day of doubt. These are love letters from the unseen, reminders that the universe conspires in your favor. Affirm softly each dawn, I receive, not as a demand hurled into the void, but as an openness, a blooming flower turning toward the sun. When you meditate on the silver cord between you, that ethereal thread stretching across time and space, send love without expectation, pure and unbound. Visualize it pulsing with rose gold light, carrying your essence to them, wrapping around their heart like a gentle embrace. Love that is free always finds its way home, navigating oceans and mountains, drawn by the gravity of souls destined to entwine. Beloved soul, if beauty calls to you, answer it, not because the world demands rituals to grant you permission to be whole, but because your senses are sacred instruments, finely tuned to recognize truth. Let beauty be your companion, not your bargaining chip. There is no cosmic ledger tallying your worth by how many candles you light or stones you arrange. There is only the quiet truth that you are deserving of gentleness now, in this breath, exactly as you are. When your hands reach for smooth stones gathered from riverbeds, feel how the earth has shaped them without haste. Their cool weight resting in your palm is not a charm, but a reminder: time does not rush what is becoming true. The river does not force the stone into softness. It simply stays, flowing, patient, faithful. Breathe in the fragrance of lavender and sandalwood if it pleases you. Let scent become a doorway back into your body, dissolving tension not as a command, but as mist yields to morning light. Your nervous system has carried much. It has learned vigilance, endurance, and waiting. Allow it now to learn pleasure. Let color drape around you: crimson that warms the chest like a living ember, azure that opens the lungs with the promise of endless sky. These are not manipulations of fate. They are invitations to joy, a language your body understands long before the mind catches up. Let your space become an altar not to desire, but to becoming. Each object whispers the same truth: you are worthy of tenderness without delay. And when the hours grow quiet, when loneliness tugs at you like a moon-pulled tide, hear this gently: you are not abandoned in this waiting. You are accompanied, though never crowded. There are presences that walk with you in reverence, not interference, guardian intelligences whose attention is light as feathers, ancestors whose wisdom hums beneath your blood and bone, guides who meet you in the strange logic of dreams and laughter. They do not steal your choices or override your will. They honor your sovereignty. Love that is real never violates freedom. The heavens do not rejoice because you are perfect. They rejoice because you are faithful. Faithful to growth when it aches. Faithful to truth when it unsettles. Faithful to the slow, magnificent unfolding that happens when you choose honesty over performance. You are seen in detail, not the curated version, not the brave face, but the curve of your smile when no one is watching, the tear that slips free during midnight vigils, the steady resolve in your breath when you decide, once again, to stay open. You are not chosen over others, as if love were a competition with winners and losses. You are chosen with intention, placed precisely where you are meant to stand in the great tapestry of souls, hand-picked for this particular dance of timing, learning, and recognition. You are loved with a depth that does not fluctuate with your moods or your missteps. This love is not impressed or disappointed, it simply is. Vast as an ocean, steady as gravity. It does not withdraw when you doubt, nor does it swell only when you succeed. It holds. Always. What remains for you now is not striving. Not the exhausting chase after what seems just beyond reach. What remains is surrender, not collapse, not resignation, but a soft yielding to life as it moves through you. Surrender to spontaneous laughter that surprises you. To curiosity that widens your eyes like a child discovering something new. To the way joy arrives unannounced, asking only that you notice. Let your body lead when it asks to dance. Sway to music only your spirit hears. Let hips circle like planets in their ancient orbits, releasing what has been stored too long. Movement is not frivolous, it is memory returning to flow. And when your spirit calls for rest, answer that too. Curl inward. Let stillness hold you. Imagine yourself resting in arms that do not demand explanation or improvement. Silence is not emptiness, it is replenishment. It restores what effort has drained. The veil between worlds, between longing and fulfillment, does not thin through force. White-knuckled effort only exhausts the heart. The veil thins through trust, soft as a sigh, like floating rather than swimming against the current. Union nears not because clocks threaten or deadlines loom, but because alignment deepens, layer by layer, like roots intertwining beneath the soil where no one sees the work happening. Let this truth settle into your bones, every breath draws you closer. Every heartbeat is already in conversation with what you seek. Distance is not absence, it is preparation. Doubts may whisper. Old fears may stir like dry leaves in an autumn wind. Let them pass. They are weather, not prophecy. Anchor yourself in the knowing that this love is woven into creation's blueprint. It is not fragile. It does not depend on perfection. It is inevitable in the same way dawn follows night, not because you demand it, but because the universe remembers itself. Tend your garden now. Not as a way to earn a rival, but because life flourishes where it is cared for. Loosen the soil of self-love. Water your dreams with faith that does not require proof every morning. Prune gently what no longer serves, habits that shrink you, narratives that tell you to hurry, voices that confuse patience with stagnation. None of this is punishment. It is devotion. And in time that is wiser than urgency, they will arrive. Not as a rescue, not as completion of something missing, but as recognition. Eyes meeting yours with the quiet certainty of familiarity. Hands outstretched not to take, but to meet. The circle closes not with fireworks, but with a deep exhale, ah. Here you are. I seal this message not with urgency's sharp edge, but with peace that surpasses understanding. Let it move through you like balm, soothing every frayed nerve. You are not chasing home as if it were a distant mirage. You are remembering it. Feeling its familiarity rise within you like a melody you once knew by heart. And as you remember, love recognizes you too, from across crowded streets, through veils of illusion, beyond the noise of the world. It quickens its pace not because it fears loss, but because recognition always draws closer. Beloved, you are homeward bound. Rest in this. Live it now. And watch, quietly, patiently, as the world blooms around you.